So anyway, that's not what we came here to talk about, but I appreciate your indulgence.
Well, we appreciate you being on here, and believe me, if you have to get off or you feel like you can't keep on going, you just let us know.
Hey man, I'm here because I love you guys and I just love what we represent here. And we're changing lives, including my own family. So
Beautiful.
and I
Beautiful.
know where we left off. There was, some question about the different types of systems that Dr. Hayes had mentioned, right?
Yes,
The
and how they tie directly into our VNOx, what
right,
we have that's different, and how it's helping.
yeah, fantastic. So as we age, we see this nitric oxide synthase, which takes L-arginine from our dietary source. See, L-arginine is an amino acid. Amino acids are what make proteins in the body. So when we eat proteins that have it, they're broken down into these amino acids, and L-arginine is one of those. And if the nitric oxide synthase, that enzyme, is working well, it will develop plenty of nitric oxide out the other end of that synthase enzyme. But as we get older, unfortunately, like most things, they don't work the way they did when we were younger. And that's one of the areas that we struggle with. And early on, we thought, well, let's just pour a lot of a lot of L-arginine into the system, and we'll just force this product or this ingredient on one end of that enzyme manufacturing system, and out the other end will come nitric oxide. Well, we learned that while it does, it may boost it by about 5%, the nitric oxide production. You'd often have to give 7,000 milligrams of L-arginine in order to get that to happen. And so the real question is, what happens on this other side where we take actual nitrates and nitrites from food sources? And Dr. Hayes gave some great examples of that. And what contribution does that have to the system? And what we've learned is we can concentrate each of those active ingredients into capsules or tablet form like we have in VNOx. And some of those really strong ingredients, you wouldn't get that exposure to those components, those nitrate and nitrite boosters, by eating. You just cannot eat enough pomegranates or drink enough pomegranate juice to pull off getting that potency. And so what we have in our VNOx is essentially a super concentrated component of all of the active ingredients that really do maximize the conversion of nitric oxide into our system. And it's been shown to increase that by about 50% if you don't take it versus when you do take it for a period of time. Mm-hmm. So, what I look at is that's not affected by aging. In other words, no matter how old you get, if you can get those raw ingredients in there that break the nitrate into nitrites and then ultimately kick out a nitric oxide into the system, it's not bogged down by a ineffective nitric oxide synthase enzymatic system. It's all in how much you pour in of those nitrates on the other side. And so I think what we've got here is we've got just a very powerful combination of things. Really, the showcase is the Avicen. If I had to choose one thing that I would put in my house, it would first and foremost be an Avicen, and I would use that thing at least twice a day and maybe 3 times a day, okay? But if you're crazy like me and you see that there are other things out there that can add to the Avicen effect, possibly, I'm willing to invest in that because I understand that this is the only body I'm going to have. And if I don't treat it well, if I don't give it every opportunity it can to be healthy, I'm going to struggle. And that's something I'm trying to battle. I'm trying to work against in every possible way that I can. And I really think our VNOx is just a supercharged nitrate delivery process that bypasses the traditional problems with nitric oxide synthase not working as well as it does. And I do believe that while we may not have firm confirmation of this, I think everything about how I'm seeing the Avicen work in the body, lowering the mean arterial blood pressure, some of the positive things that I think Tom and Danielle are going to present to us about diabetes, we're going to find that there's probably a boosting of that nitric oxide synthase activity, and maybe even improving the absorption of the VNOx that we take into our system through boosting all this microcirculation and absorptive capability and delivery throughout the body. It's just, wow. I tell you what, everybody in this business right now that's using these products, they don't even know what they're setting their bodies up for to fight off. I mean, I'm hearkening back to yesterday's call, which was a fantastic call with JJ Conway. And to think that he didn't know that he would be exposed to COVID-19. He had no clue about that 6 months ago or a year ago when he started using the Avicen. So there are things that we are going to be exposed to in the future that we're setting up our bodies to protect ourselves against. And the Avicen is the flagship of that. And many of these other things I think are beautiful add-ons, but at the end of the day, we've got such a beautiful combination of products. I can't imagine. And actually beautiful people to go along with it. And you guys are part of that. So.
No, Dr. Burt, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And we all appreciate you sharing with your knowledge and the experiences you have. I couldn't agree with you more. I think the beauty of it is once we do have a product as powerful as the Avicen, we've talked about this over and over again, and we talk about it every Tuesday night and during the presentation that, that Avicen's driving whatever we're taking, whether it's nourishment, supplements, prescriptions, whatever, and driving it where it needs to go, so that's the engine of this whole thing. And don't forget it. That is the thing that keeps this whole cycle going. And you mentioned yesterday's call, such an important call, and JJ's testimonial on Blog Talk Radio, New Life Blog Talk, was amazing. I have to tell you right now, I've got several devices, and I have literally sent one to my mother and one to my sweetheart's mother. And I've said, they're both in their 80s. And, I've given those two devices up for them to use. And I said, I want you to be on that thing 2-3 times a day, every day. And that's it. I mean, I'm just working with the one I have now because it's important to get that into the hands of the people we love so that they can be using it. So that's what I'm doing too. So Joey, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Duke.
And Jeannie, I am going to send it back to you.
All right, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Great presentations. And Duke, as always, you're just fabulous. Okay, Ali, Bob, did you have something else you wanted to give away? Talk to us. Lots of giveaways today, I know. And then we're going to do some recognition. Bob, Ali, are you with me? Okay.
I'm all for giving away. As soon as I have my partner in crime in here, he looks like he's got a screen of the sky. Oh, I see what you're doing. You got something going on in your hand. So what are we giving away? Because I think we got to keep this thing going. The generosity feels good. What you got?
Okay. We are going to give away a Sedona face.
Ooh.
All right. So,
ready for it? Okay. Please pay attention. And now the rules before we go ahead.